Hello, this is Gilberton, and as I did say before, I am an everything type of guy, but for starters, before I can ever get to my video games and whatnots, I need to get to learn how to video edit and whatnot. So, for now, I'm going to do something that I think hasn't been done very much on YouTube. It's not an unboxing. This is a prolonged usage of an understanding of quadcopters, but in this video, the Estes Proto-X FPV quadcopter. Now, I've had mine for I think about a month and a half now. It's there's a lot to say about it. Now, see, what I'm doing is what I've realized that you can watch a video about a quadcopter, and then you'll be like, oh my god, that looks incredible, but then like that might be like the unboxing of it, so that could be their first day. But as we all know, if you've ever had a remote control anything, sometimes all it takes is 1 to 2 days, or even 3 days, even a week, and then its true nature of how fragile it is comes into play. So I thought, why don't I get a little more exposed to this before I ever did a video? And then I made this whole channel, and I'm like, hey, this is a perfect idea. Alright, so now the video. Well, I've had this again for about a month and a half, and I've noticed that this thing does eat the hell out of batteries. Recommend getting some rechargeable batteries. I don't think you can go to any more Radio Shacks. If you didn't know this, they are closing down. I actually found that out at the last Radio Shack I was, where I got my rechargeable batteries, because it was going out of business. I'm like, hey, I'm going to get some cheap ones. And yeah, so if you have one nearby of a Radio Shack that is going out of business, go there so you can get some cheap rechargeable batteries and cheap rechargeable recharger thingy majigger. And I actually don't know the official term. I'm sure it's just like a charger for batteries. I'm sure there's not something that I'm missing. The QXRRSPWF charger majigger. I'm sure there's none of those, but whatever. So this thing, it flies. It's a great flyer. It's got a good yaw rate. The rates are good, and it does not have just one single yaw rate. It has the normal yaw rate, and then a faster yaw rate when you change the flight mode. It does do flips. And it does record video, and of course it is a first-person quadcopter, so it does transmit. I don't know, the video is not focusing very well, but see right by my thumb this little stick that's moving? Transmits the picture onto this LED screen. Now, as I've noticed, once the battery starts getting lower, as it is right now in my my controller, it doesn't really do FPV anymore. As it gets to like 1 to 2 bars, it has to be like about that far, and then it'll give you the picture. But the second you go about this far, which is like that, the FPV no longer works. Well, that's only when it's only got about, it shows you in terms of bars, like on the top right screen. Let me just blind the plane real quick and you'll see. Right there, it's hard to see. There's 2 if you can't see it very well, but see right now it's working perfectly. Oh, and sorry, it's card full because I've got a full video, but it does have, when it's working very well. It's just sometimes, you know, when it gets a little too far, it could it scrambles and it gets a little fuzzy, but it's a good flyer. It's with the FPV with a full battery, it's great. And I have noticed something on this one, on this specific quadcopter, that just I haven't seen in any others. It lasts 10.5 minutes on a full charge. 10.5 minutes. I want you to understand, like the Hubsan, the one in my last video, maybe with the given battery, 380 milliamp, the one given in the Hubsan might last maybe 6 to 8 minutes, maybe. But this thing with FPV and everything, with its 650 milliamp battery, lasts 10.5 minutes. Now, it might not sound like that big of an increase, but when you're out there flying, 10.5 minutes is a long time, which most quadcopters don't even reach 5 to 6. Hubson, of course, is a superb quadcopter, but even that can't get up to 10.5 minutes. Plus, the video quality on this is phenomenal. I believe it's 720, which is really good because this quadcopter only costs about, I think it's $200 right now if you go on Amazon. It's about $200, and I'm sure there's places you can find it even cheaper. But, I mean, if you want to go on Amazon, that's where I got mine, and mine's good. Now, besides how it flies perfectly, here are some things to note. These are not the original props. What happened was, it takes heavy damage in the front in terms of the props, and they break. And like any props, they break easy. So if you're gonna buy this, buy it with spare props. But I've checked; they don't have the original props anymore. If I wanted more props, I'd have to literally buy another one of these, and it does not come bind and fly. You have to come get it with this. So it's not like I can just get another $100 set of blades. I have to get a $200 set of blades. So regardless of that, both of those situations is stupid. But I'm just so you know, if you buy this and this breaks, you can't just buy this. And if this breaks, you can't just buy this. You have to get both. Sadly, they don't sell like that. But I'm sure because there's a Hubson FPV, which is very similar transmitter. I'm very sure. Actually, not. I know the Hubson works with this one because I actually have the Hubson one. I got the Hubson FPV bind and fly, and it does work with this. I'm sure vice versa. If I got the Hubson FPV controller, it would work with this. So yeah, but that you can't buy this one alone. So if you are gonna do that, just buy with this, and then buy the bind and fly of the Hubson FPV. The Hubson FPV gives a bigger, for some reason, gives a better picture here. But when you put it on your computer, the picture in resolution is just not, it's weird. But here, when you transmit the video from here to here, it's phenomenal. I mean, you could also record it from here, but it's just not as good as doing it from here to there. So I recommend if you're trying to get some good video, it does have a little SD card port. And then if you want to get good, I mean, I just used the one they give me that it came with. I believe it's a 2 GB card, SD card. It's either 2 or 4 gigabytes, but either way, it lasts 4 minutes, which is as long as it lets me, as I've seen. Like I have a 16 gig in there. But it doesn't go any over 4 minutes. I don't know if that's like the product itself, or maybe the one I bought off Amazon is just shitty. But that's all I've noticed out of it. But what also I've noticed, if you are gonna buy this, buy it with extra. I forget what they're called. I'm gonna call them landers for now. But it comes with them on it. But I took them all off because one of them came off and it just wasn't landing properly. So I took them all off so it could be weighed out evenly. And so yeah, if you're gonna do that, buy those. You can use Hubson, the Hubson X4 props. Here, let me go get the Hubson, the one from my last video. What happens is I actually had trouble with this one as well after a while. So I had to buy new props and new engines for this. So there's an actual kit you can get on Amazon. Just look up Hubson repair kit and you'll get engines and whatnot. But the blades are the same on the Hubson and the Estes Proto-X. I checked just to make sure. I didn't want it to fly into the wall. And I've already tested this. It works with the new props. But I wouldn't recommend putting in the same engines because even though they look similar, I would not bet on them being exactly. Plus, you can actually buy those engines still on Amazon. So I would rather just buy the engines straight off of Amazon that I know are for these, rather than just hopefully substitute them for those. So yeah, if you had to, giving them off Amazon. So yeah, it has a great charge. I actually don't. It probably has about 5 minutes left in it right now because I haven't actually charged it, but it takes about 2.5 hours to charge, which is pretty good. And I recommend, if you're gonna get this, also buy some 650 milliamp batteries. I'm sure they still sell them on Amazon. I haven't actually checked recently, but I'm sure they still do. But besides that, let's go back to the one more issue I've noticed. Sometimes an engine, it buzzes. I'm sure it's because it's getting like stuck a little bit. What I mean is it's lagging behind the others. And again, that's why I recommend you buy new engines. If you're gonna buy this, buy engines, and don't worry if you have enough money to buy this. Engines aren't a big deal. Engines are like, I think for a set of 4, it's like $6. So, and typically when it comes to quadcopters like this, or basically any quadcopters, is what I've come to notice, if there's an issue with one, it usually will always be that same one. So I mean, you replace that one and then you put in a new one with, and then it'll have another problem eventually. But I mean, since they're all the same, you just replace them and it should be fine. So pack 4 might last you a good couple months. So happy flying. Now let me just show you what it kind of looks like. You just turn it on. Turn on the controller. And it's binded. And here it is. See, if you hear it, it sounds like a loud buzzing. Oops. Fail. I don't really have a good setup yet, as you have noticed, and I have tried to make painfully obvious. I do not have a very good setup yet. But here, I'm going to try show you what it's like. And as I told you, it does lag. I still need to replace it. Right now it's kind of pulling. I'm watching it. You guys have no idea what's going on because I have a shitty setup. But here, basically, here you go. This is exactly what it looks like. On screen is alright. It does come with glare protection, so when you're out doing your thing or whatever in the sun, you want to fly it, you're not going to have to worry about the glare. Here. I'm trying to remember, flip mode is left analog stick. Alright, I think. It's on. I don't think I'm going to flip it actually because of the whole thing. But flipping it's never been a real big, like, seller for me. I mean, because basically all of them flip now, so I don't really give a shit if it flips or not. Who the fuck cares anymore? They all basically flip. Like, if it doesn't flip, I mean, who cares? When you're flying it, you just kind of want to see it go. I don't really care if it flips, tumble rolls, or does any of that. I fly it more for aerial photography, so I mean, if you're a stunt guy, then I guess, I don't know. Unless it's like this flyer, I don't really see the purpose of it, because more flyers now, like, not this one in particular, but like the Cheerson, I have actually the Cheerson over here, the CX-10 I believe, or CX-20, do not quote me on this. This one has a flip button, and then like, you just go like this in the right analog stick, boop, and it just does a front flip. I mean, there's no skill in it. So if you want to have like a one that does it by, you have to do it with like actual like maneuvering and shit. This one has a similar flip mode to this one, but it's also still kind of regulated in the way it's like this. You still have to go like ba-ba, back and forth to do a flip on this. But I mean, like it feels kind of like this one when you're doing it. I mean, this one you feel like you really got to be careful with it, because if not, then you could screw up, and then it feels like more of a stunt, which I guess would be more interesting than this bullshit where it's just like, oop, boop, I flipped the quadcopter. I am so mad, I am so badass. I don't know why my badass voice was Russian, but whatever. So yeah, that's basically it with this. If you're gonna buy it with props, and since they don't sell these props anymore, just buy Hubsan X4 because they're basically the same thing. Buy extra batteries, buy SD cards if you want to store a lot of space, if you're going to be constantly recording. Bring along a lot of batteries if you're going to do a lot of recording. And buy engines. So grand total, let's say, because I know this one costs $200 on eBay, on Amazon right now, 202. Let's say the engines cost $8. That's 210. Let's say it's another $6 for all the props, and that's like a set of 10, like 5 of each of these, like 5, 5. You know, 5 of each of them. Not like, oh, I just got 5 props for some reason. Because 5 props. Yeah, what are the chances I'm going to need 6, 7, or 8? Right? Just 5 props. I only need 5. But so yeah. If you're gonna buy that, so it's like $210 for the engine and that. The rubber feet, there you go. The rubber feet I think are about about $6 as well. $6 for the engines, or no, I mean for the props it's $12. So about $222, which you would be saving a lot more money and time than me because I bought this when it was $230. Now it's $202 because when I bought this a couple months, it wasn't actually. I actually think no. I bought it. I think it was November last year, so it was like 5 months ago. That's right. This is not the newest quad anymore, and you know, with technology nowadays, everything's going so fast. Now give it a month, and now something else has already like outmaneuvered, out badassed it. But the good thing about that, especially in the quadcopter market, is it drops the prices of the previous quad, which is why I think they're no longer selling the proper props. But for some reason the Hubsan's still on there. Of course, it's gotten a little cheaper throughout the years, but it's only gotten a little cheaper, even though it's like I think 3 years old now. I think because like it's gotten so much hype, everyone loves it. But to be honest, you crash it. It crashes just like any quad. But, I mean, the Hubsan is great, but, I mean, it's become the standard now, so, you know, I like this one because I'm more into aerial photography. If you want an aerial photography quad, this would be the one for you at a budget. Right now, I'm actually looking forward into a DJ Phantom, but I'm waiting for the 3 to come out, so then the 2 version 2 will be like $100 cheaper with the gimbal, which I really need because I need to save that money so I could buy a GoPro, because with the gimbal it doesn't actually come with a camera and it's basically worthless. But yeah, so that's my plan. This is me. This is the Estes Proto-X. I recommend it, but buy it with engines and shit. There you go. And no quotes for today because I could not think of one, plus I have a shit ton of homework that I've neglected. So yeah, please. This is a great quad. Love you.